Once again, I welcome all of you for today's first session of Bhagavad Gita study. Bhagavad Gita is an important book which we are supposed to study in our life. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. Though it is part of Mahabharata, this is very special segment of Mahabharata because here God himself is speaking. Bhagavad Gita is described as Sri Krishna's Upadesha. That is why it is called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad means God. Gita means a song. It's a song of God. So God, that Almighty God, Supreme, powerful, has spoken here. When all people are searching for the God, searching for the truth, when everybody is working hard to know God, here is a literature which is showing us what God is speaking. Very interesting. Directly that God is speaking. Many religions have got no information of God. They say God is Almighty. God is great. That's all their understanding ends. But here is literature, a grantha, where God is speaking. And we have an opportunity to study that portion of Mahabharata, that is nothing but this Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita has the complete message of the entire Vedic knowledge. A synopsis, a summary of the entire Vedic knowledge. And interestingly, this is in the format of question and answer, which is very suitable for our lives, which we can apply in our lives. Since this grantha, Bhagavad Gita grantha, is God's words, directly God's words, this is called Upanishad. That is why one more name is Gita Upanishad. It's one of the Upanishads. This is very sacred book. But important is, we should understand Bhagavad Gita with a proper perspective, proper perception and understanding. Mere a Sanskrit scholarship may not help us to understand Bhagavad Gita. Because message of Bhagavad Gita has to be understood properly from the source where Bhagavad Gita is practiced in day-to-day life. Then we can also apply that and practice in our life. So it is important. Hence I congratulate all of you for making this choice of learning Bhagavad Gita in your life. What it needs is your commitment. Now today you have come. So you have to commit that next 20 sessions, next 19 sessions, today the first session, next 19 sessions, I will keep this as a priority. In our life, everything is about priority. I will prioritize and I will learn this course systematically so that this will help me in my life throughout. And this knowledge is going to help you in your life throughout. It is not just learning just some general knowledge. It's about application of these principles in your lives. So hence, this course we are offering so that people can practice this in a practical manner in their lives. So today, we are going to understand from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, as you all received the handout, all of you received the handout. So, this chapter we have divided into 5 sections. First section is Dhritarashtra's question. Second section is Duryodhana's fear. He is getting scared in the battlefield. Third section is blowing of conch shells or shankha. Fourth section is Arjuna observing the armies. The fifth section is Arjuna's reasons not to fight. This is important chapter. Today you will understand why this is important. This will set a scene for the study of the rest of the book. We'll understand a lot of things today. So let us start today the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, by reciting the first shloka. And I will take you now, I will open the presentation. And this Bhagavad Gita class, based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya in the disciplic succession, parampara of Madhvacharya and Brahma. So Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharya, who founded ISKCON. So based on the teachings of Prabhupada, we are trying to understand this. This is a 20-session course of Bhagavad Gita. Today is the first session. This is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Now there are some statistics. There are total 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita, out of which Krishna spoke 574 verses. Arjuna asked 84 verses. Sanjaya observed 41 verses. And Dhritarashtra asked one question, one verse. So this is how it is composed. So this chapter is called Observing the Armies in the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. That's the name of the chapter. It's also called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, and it's also called Observing the Armies in the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. These are the 5 sections of this chapter. The first section is the first verse. Let us start with chanting the first verse of Bhagavad Gita today. Please, if you have book, you open. Next class, I recommend you to come with a copy of Gita. It will help you, because in the class sometimes I will ask you, open, see 13th chapter, 4th verse you open. So it helps you to quickly refer and study. I try to display the verses as much as possible, but sometimes it may not be visible. Sometimes I may be chanting more number of verses. In all that case, and you require a book. And it's also an assignment for you. Like today, I'll be conducting chapter 1. Chapter 1, from today onwards, till next Saturday, you'll be reading chapter 1 at home. Every day, some half an hour reading. Then you come with the detailed, deep understanding. Then we'll be doing chapter 2. Then next week, you'll be reading chapter 2. It is homework for you, assignment for you. So you're not free next, on the days when classes are not conducted. Also you have work. Otherwise, class you may be attending, but you may get only 10%, 20% of the understanding. If you want a detailed, deeper understanding, it's required to read when you go back home. So now let us start with the first chapter, first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Please repeat after me. All of you can sit erect. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. Samavetayuyutsavaha. Samavetayuyutsavaha. Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Now, here Dhritarashtra is asking question to Sanjaya, who is observing the army and the battlefield, sitting at palace. So, sitting in the palace, he is able to see the battlefield. This is because the mercy or the special blessings of Vyasadeva. Sanjaya has received the powers by the blessings of Vyasadeva to sit and see the battlefield in the palace, from the palace. And he is narrating that to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra is asking the question. What is he asking the question? He is asking, what happened? So you can see the translation also. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? Now this is very important. Dhritarashtra is a blind man. He is not able to see from his childhood. It is described here, he is not only blind physically, he is also blind spiritually. Because blind physically is I am just not able to see. Blind spiritually means he is not able to understand when Krishna, God, is personally present and he is directing Pandavas. He is not correcting his children and asking his children to obey Krishna. Rather, he is encouraging his children in the path of adharma. So now Dhritarashtra has become very, very fearful. Hence he is asking this question to Sanjaya. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it is not just a battlefield. It is said, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. What is the kind of battlefield of Kurukshetra? It's a Dharmakshetra. Why it is called Dharmakshetra? We don't call war field as Dharmakshetra, isn't it? We don't say Dharmakshetra of Israel. We don't say Dharmakshetra of Russia and Ukraine. Every war field is not called Dharmakshetra. Here, Kurukshetra is called Dharmakshetra. Even today, Hindus go there as a Tirthayatra, pilgrimage. Because in the Kurukshetra, Supreme Lord Krishna is personally present there. He is overseeing the battle and he is deciding who should win, who should lose. When God stands there, no adharma can happen. Though entire world is a creation of God, but the place of God is called Dharmakshetra. Dharmasthala is a Dharmakshetra. Entire world is under the Lord's control. But that particular place where Lord's temple is directly under the supervision of the Lord. Then Lord will decide what should happen, what should not happen. In other places, Lord may let people also to decide. Okay, you also decide. He will give some empowerment for others. But in temple, he will not give any empowerment. He will say, what I want, that should happen. Now, Kurukshetra, this is the reason Dhritarashtra is asking question like this. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. This Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra. Now, since it is Dharma Kshetra, Dhritarashtra is fearful because he knows in his heart his children are not dharmic. He knows his children have cheated Pandavas. He knows they are not righteous. Now in the Dharma Kshetra, what will win? Dharma will win. Adharma will die. He knows his children are adharmic. Now he is fearful. Will my now children die? What happened? In that concern, he is asking this question. When both Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yutsabha, Mamakaha, my children, and Pandu's children, what have they done? What are they doing? This is the question. So this is the first question of Dhritarashtra. Having asked this question, Dhritarashtra has expressed his concern. Sanjaya tries to answer this question. Now Sanjaya explains what is happening in the war field of Kurukshetra. Sanjaya uvacha drushtvat pandavanikam vyudham duryodhanasthatha acharyam upasangamya raja vachanam abravit. Duryodhana is very diplomatic person, very selfish person, very diplomatic person. As a diplomatic person, he does some diplomacy now. What does he do? In his side there is Dronacharya, there is Bhishma, such great people. He was thinking, Dronacharya's favorite disciple is Arjuna. He is another side. And Bhishma always shown favor to Pandavas, but Pandavas are another side. What if this Bhishma and Drona don't fight properly? So he wanted to create some kind of anger in them. So he goes and says to Dronacharya, look at them, all the Pandavas assembled to fight. And their army is arranged by Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna is a son of Drupada Maharaja. Drupada Maharaja and Drona were actually friends earlier, but they had a rift between, they became enemies. Then Drupada performed yajna to get a child who can kill Dronacharya. That son's name is Drishtadyumna. Now that Drishtadyumna has arranged Pandavas' army nicely, is bringing that name. Pashyetam Pandaputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupadaputrena Tavashishena Dhimata. Look at there, Dronacharya. Drona, see there, what is happening? Your disciple, Tavashishyena. Now you see interesting thing. Though Drishtadyumna took birth to kill Drona, who taught the military art to Drishtadyumna? It's Dronacharya. This is a Vedic system. He's a Brahmana. He knows, I'm training this boy and this boy will kill me tomorrow using the same Vidya I am giving. But he is not hesitant. He is saying, it's the will of the Lord. He is thinking, after all, it's the will of the Lord. So this exemplary character of Dronacharya we can observe. Now, Duryodhana is coming and triggering him. Look at there, your disciple, and he has arranged, he is fighting against you. Means, what a mistake you have done by educating, giving Vidya to Drishtadyumna. Like this, Duryodhana cleverly speaks. He points out Dronacharya mistake of imparting military secrets to Drishtadyumna. Then he refers to Drishtadyumna as a son of Drupada, his enemy. And Duryodhana was confident that Dronacharya and Bhishma Deva, all of them put together, will be able to bring victory for him. Then he encouraged everybody. Next few verses, verse number 2 to 11. I'll just read the translation. You please hear attentively. Okay, it's a very simple. I'll not go into too much of detail of that. He says, there are also great, heroic, powerful fighters. Who are there on the other side? Duryodhana is saying. Drishtaketu, Chakitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Boja, Shaibhya. There are mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamauja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. Maharathis, Atirathis. Means one person can fight against 10,000 people. 10,000 chariots. They are called Maharathis. Such great fighters are there. O best of the Brahmanas, for your information, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. Then he starts glorifying about his military force. These are the personalities like yourself. Drona he is telling, yourself. Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarnan, and the son of Somadatta, Bhurishwara, who are always victorious in battle. Bhishma was never defeated. Drona was never defeated, and such people are there on Duryodhana's side. So he is very confident that he will win. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with the different kinds of weapons or are experienced in military art. Last two verses of this section. Our strength is immeasurable. We are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas are carefully protected by Bhima, which is limited. Now, all of you must give support to grandfather Bhishma, standing at your respective strategic points in the phalanx of army. So, who is the commander-in-chief of Kauravas? Now, Bhishma. After Bhishma dies, Drona. After Drona dies, it was Karna. So like this it was given. Now Bhishma is heading, he is telling everybody, you please support Bhishma. In a way he is insulting Bhishma also. Because Bhishma does not require anybody's support. That is his power. By telling others you support Bhishma, he is insulting Bhishma. Basically, this Duryodhana is very diplomatically speaking to trigger Bhishma and Drona so that they fight very seriously with Pandavas. And so many people have assembled to fight. It is said, total 18 Akshauhini armies are assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. How many Akshauhini armies? 18 Akshauhini armies are ready to fight on both the sides. Kaurava's side, there are 11 Akshauhini armies. Pandava's side, 7 Akshauhini armies. Now let me tell you, what does it mean? One Akshauhini means it has 1,25,000 foot soldiers. You know what is 1 lakh, isn't it? When the big political rally happens, he say 1 lakh people assemble. So 1,25,000 foot soldiers in one Akshauhini plus 65,000 elephants. And on the elephant there is a warrior, not just elephant. Then 25,000 horses. Again on the horse there is a warrior. Then 25,000 chariots. Chariot means 2 or more than 2 horses. And there is a charioteer and there is a warrior. This all put together is called one Akshauhini. Like that, Kauravas had 11 Akshauhinis, Pandavas had 7 Akshauhinis. Can you imagine the size of Kurukshetra war field, and both of them are assembled to fight. The huge uproar is going on. Both the sides they are roaring and in anger. They want to just, if the time permit, if the time is given, they just want to go and kill the enemies. Each other, their enemies. They're waiting for the signal to start fighting. With that passion, they are waiting. And what happened? First Dhritarashtra is asking, then Sanjaya is saying that the Duryodhana has diplomatically spoken, got his army ready to fight. Two things we understood from this. One, what is Dharmakshetra? Why Kurukshetra is not ordinary battlefield? Because Krishna is there. Second, the crookedness of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. So now let us move to the next section. Now before the war begins, they all have agreed upon to blow their conches. Now they blow their conches. Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot, drawing by the white horses, sounded their transcendental conches, Divya Shankho. So they blew their conches, which are transcendental, Divyam. Others like Kashi Raja, Shikandhi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, Satyaki, Drupada, sons of Draupadi and Abhimanyu, they all blew their respective conches. So everybody is blowing their conches. So names of the conches also mentioned here. Lord Krishna's Shankha is called Panchajanya. Arjuna's Shankha is called Devadatta. Bhima's Shankha is called Poundra. Yudhishthira's is Ananta Vijaya. Nakula's is Sughosha. Sahadeva's Manipushpak. They blew all their conches. Now interesting here is Krishna's conch is called Divya Shankho. You see how Bhagavad Gita very particularly uses some words. Any material things are not called Divya. You come Divya only when it is spiritual. So Krishna's conch is called Divya Shankho. It's a spiritual conch. It's not the ordinary conch which is made up of matter. It's a spiritual. Now Sanjaya is indirectly telling Dhritarashtra, Pandavas have Divya Shankha in their side. Pandavas they have Krishna with him. Wherever Krishna is there, that side will be victory. Vijaya will come on Krishna's side. So Sanjaya is indirectly trying to explain this to Dhritarashtra. So now he says, let us chant this verse, the 15th verse. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayaha Paundram Dadno Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrukodharaha. So like this they all blew their conches. Now let us see what happens. Now Arjuna observes the armies. Now one twist is happening. The war is about to begin. Something is going to happen now. What is that? Arjuna Uvacha. Now Arjuna is saying something. What is Arjuna saying? Please come. Now Arjuna is saying, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see what is present here, who is desirous in fighting, and with whom I must contend in this great battle attempt. Now with whom should I fight? I want to see. Now here I want to bring one thing to your notice. Okay. Generally we think God orders, we all serve God, and we serve God. God is the master whom we all serve. And God is nothing to do with us other than us. He may bless us with some wealth, but you see here that God has become driver for Arjuna. Because Arjuna is a devotee. Since Arjuna is a great devotee of Krishna, Krishna has agreed to become Arjuna's chariot driver. And he is taking instruction from his devotee. He is ordering God. We all go and ask the God, please order me. But here Arjuna is ordering, take my chariot, take that between the battlefield. Krishna is driving. Where you want me to take? Okay, I will take. Actually, God loves us all. Krishna loving us, all of us. It is the love of a devotee and the love of God making this kind of transactions possible. Nothing can control God other than love of his devotee. Hence, Arjuna is loving Krishna so much, and Krishna is taking Arjuna's instructions. Krishna is serving his devotee. Generally we see devotee serving Krishna. Krishna is serving his devotee. You can see that here. So Krishna is taking the chariot between the armies as instructed by Arjuna. So that is in the verse number 21. Then he says, Arjuna says, let me see those who come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded Dhritarashtra. Who are they? Let me see them. Then Sanjaya says, being thus addressed by Arjuna, Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies, both the parties. The chariot was brought in between two armies. And the chariot come between the army. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, Rishikesha, the Lord, said, Krishna said, now I brought the chariot in between the armies. Arjuna, behold the army. Look at the Kurus who want to fight with you. Please look at them. Now Arjuna is looking. Now Arjuna is seeing something. Something is going on in Arjuna's mind. Let us see what happens to Arjuna. Arjuna is a great devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord. So hence he goes through certain things. Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies, both the parties, his father, who all are there to fight. His fathers means Bhurishwara, etc. His grandfather, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, father-in-law, well-wishers. So many people have assembled there. He is seeing all of them. Now seeing them, Arjuna is going through an emotion. So that is what, next one more verse is there. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with the compassion and spoke thus. Now we come to the fourth section. So now, first Dhritarashtra asked a question, then Duryodhana spoke diplomatically. Now everybody blew their conch shell, war was about to begin. Arjuna ordered Krishna to bring the chariot in between the battlefield. Krishna brought the chariot in between the battlefield and told Arjuna, look at now. And Arjuna is looking at. Having looked on, Arjuna became very emotional out of compassion and he spoke as follows. Now Arjuna starts giving reasons why he should not fight. This is very interesting. You see, in all of our lives, obstacles come, challenges come. When the challenges come in front of us, generally, if the challenge is too big, not that challenges, Arjuna's challenges are a little different one. Not that he cannot fight, not that he lost the confidence. He felt compassion. Somebody's phone is ringing. you can take it. You can go out and answer the call and come. So, his challenges are different, which we'll understand. Whatever it may be, emotional challenge or physical challenge, intellectual challenge, we all go through challenges in our life, difficulties in our life. And difficulties brought by our own people many times. We can see that his own fathers, grandfathers and friends and everybody. First thing comes in mind is enough. I will give up. Now Arjuna is going through that. Arjuna is going to not only say I will give up, Arjuna will give valid good reasons why he should not do. And the rest of the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna making Arjuna understand what is his duty. So let us now hear what reasons Arjuna gives, which is very much applicable to all of our lives. Okay. First reason of Arjuna is Arjuna feels compassion. In your handout also it is there. If you see Arjuna's reasons not to fight, verse number 28 to 30, first reason, compassion for relatives and the resultant bodily symptoms. So now Arjuna, out of compassion, Arjuna is going through one kind of bodily symptom. What is happening to Arjuna? You see here. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering, my mouth drying up." His body is quivering, mouth is drying up. It is listed in the presentation also. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I foresee only evil, O killer of Keshi, demon. Keshava. Now Arjuna's reasons is compassion. He feels compassion. After compassion, what is happening in his body? He is a great warrior. Who is Arjuna? Gandhivadhari. He defeated the Devatas also. He killed so many demons. Everybody would fear of Arjuna. Sabyasachi. Such a great Arjuna. He is saying, my limbs are quivering, mouth is drying up, whole body is trembling, the hairs of the body is standing on end, hence the Gandiva is bowing from my shoulder, skin is burning, legs are unable to stand. He is going through very deep emotions. Now he is saying, this is because I feel compassionate. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling and I don't see any good reason why I should fight. Because he feels compassion. If I have to kill all of them, they're my fathers, teachers and all of them. Should I give pain to them? I should not give pain to them. This is the thinking of Arjuna. Now the second reason Arjuna says for not fighting. He says, I don't see any enjoyment in fighting. If I fight, I don't see there is an enjoyment. Just like if I am taking somebody's food, somebody is hungry, they're eating food, I snatch their food and I eat. Do I get happiness in that? How can I enjoy? I don't see an enjoyment in fighting. I'm not feeling that I should. Just like if you are not hungry, you don't feel like eating. He is not feeling hunger for winning the war. Because after the winning the war, I should enjoy. But I am not feeling that there is any enjoyment in victory. Why should I fight? So he says, better. Like I am not hungry, so I am not going to cook. So I am not feeling any happiness in the victory. So let me not fight. That's the second reason which Arjuna is giving. Now coming to the third reason, next reason. Arjuna is fearful of sinful reaction. There is a sinful reaction associated with actions. Every action has got equal or opposite reaction to that. If I give pain to somebody, I am entitled to receive pain. It's very natural law. In the human society, we have become very selfish. We have limited that only to human beings. If you give pain to human being, there is a law in the country that you will be punished. But if you go and kill animals, nobody cares. But in the God's law, God is samoham sarva bhuteshu, is equal to all the living beings. When the pain, any of the living being feels pain, whoever is the cause of that, he has to face the same pain. He or she has to face the same pain as a consequence. This is called karma. So now Arjuna is saying, if I kill all of them, I am giving pain to them. If I give pain to them, what will happen? I have to face the pain. So I don't want all this war. Let me exit. It's a papa, it's a himsa. I don't want to give himsa to others. So I want to exit. It's the third reason Arjuna is giving, that sinful reactions. Okay. Then next, Arjuna gives fourth reason. Okay. This is interesting reason. As a Kshatriya, Kshatriyas are responsible for the law and order in the society. Kshatriyas are also responsible for dharma is protected in the society. So that everybody is peaceful, everybody is happy. This is a Kshatriya principle. It's important that the Kshatriyas instill people to practice dharmic principles, inspire people. Unless we follow the rules of God, the dharmic principles, we cannot achieve peace and prosperity and happiness in our life. Sometimes we may get money, but we may not get happiness. The satisfaction and happiness always comes by the blessings of the Lord. Otherwise, we may have so many things, but something will be missing in our life. That missing has to be filled by God, Krishna. So, Kshatriyas are responsible for this. Hence, Arjuna speaks like this. Arjuna says, as a fourth reason, which is in the verse number 39 to 43. He says, Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo bhavatyuta. With the destruction of dynasty, eternal family tradition is vanquished. Thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligious practice. Now, so many millions of people are assembled here for fighting. In the war, when the war takes place, all these people are going to die. When all these men who are breadwinners for the family, when they all die, what will happen back at their home? There are children, there are old people, there are dependent spouse or women. So who will take care of them? Now they need to lead their life. They may get into irreligious practice for earning money. When the whole society, the women in the society, they all get into irreligious practices in the society, the dharmic principles collapse. Now further Arjuna explains that how it will happen. Adharma bhavat krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. Let us chant this. 40th verse. Adharma bhavat krishna Adharma bhavat krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha pradushyanti kulastriyah strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha jayate varna sankaraha. Translation: when religion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. Unwanted progeny called Varna Sankaraha here. Varna Sankaraha means the population which has no interest in the good things. They are the disturbance. You see, sometimes this Varna Sankara population are called disturbance in the society. They are the thieves, plunderers, killing, raping, all this kind of who is doing, they are called Varna Sankara population. Throwing stones at buses and trains. These Varna Sankara population, how they have come? Because of no proper dharma in the family tradition. The family is not teaching them what is good, what is not good. Now, Arjuna as a Kshatriya is giving this reason for not fighting. He is telling, if I fight the war, all the men member will die here, family back at home become orphans, and they will depend on, they may start doing irreligious things for livelihood. As a result, the entire society become irreligious. Then the next population, future generation also will be spoiled. Very sound argument, isn't it? All Arjuna's arguments are very nice. You see, first reason, compassion. We should be compassionate or not? Yes, no? Correct? And he feels no enjoyment in winning the war. We also feel the same. By killing, how can I enjoy? Third, Papa. By killing somebody, sinful reactions will. Yes, that is also correct. Now, harmful effects of destroying the family. Now, Arjuna is speaking about that. That is also correct reason. Okay, our family tradition will go away. In the next verse he says, in the 41st verse, Sankaro narakayeva kula gnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hi esham lupta pindodaka kriyaha. When there is an increase in unwanted population, a hellish situation created both in the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. In such corrupt families, there is no offering, pindodaka kriyaha, oblation of food and water to the ancestors, for the pitrus. So everything will be spoiled. So this is his serious observation. Now, having spoken this, now let us see what further Arjuna explains. He says, due to the evil deeds of destroys family tradition, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are destroyed. Then he says, I would consider, alas, Arjuna is saying in the 44th verse, alas, aho, bata mahat papam, alas, how strange it is, what we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. For me to become king, for Pandavas to rule, for my brother to become king, we are doing all these things. For our happiness, should all these things happen? No. This is not correct to fight. I would consider it better for the sons of Dhritarashtra to kill me, unarmed and unresisted, rather than fight with them. I'll not fight with them. I'll just go and stand there, let them shoot me, let me die. I don't want this kind of war. These are the reasons Arjuna is telling. Now Sanjaya is observing. He is saying, let us chant this next last verse of this chapter, 46th verse. Please repeat. Sanjaya uvacha. Sanjaya uvacha. Evam upvarjuna sankhe. Evam uktva Arjuna sankhe Rathopastha upavishat Rathopastha upavishat Visrujya sasharam chapam Visrujya sasharam chapam Shoka samvigna manasaha Shoka samvigna manasaha. Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows, sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Arjuna is sitting like this. He kept aside bow and arrow, not able to stand. He said, I cannot stand. Mouth is drying up, hand is trembling, hairs are standing on end. And surely shivering, he sat down on a chariot with the grief. Alas, what decision we took. Why this war? What a great mistake. So like this Arjuna is sitting. Now, we should reflect in our lives. We also face problems. When the problems come in front of us, we also become unhappy. We also become grief-stricken. And we also have valid reason, like Arjuna has a valid reason, to prove that yes, I am in a big problem. Even somebody says, hey, it's not a big thing, no. No, you don't understand me. How big problem I am going through. So we also have a lot of valid reasons to justify that our problems are very big. Most important point, Arjuna's problems, Arjuna's reason for not fighting, all these reasons come under the bracket of material reasons. Thinking that Arjuna is thinking this war is for my happiness ultimately. This war is for me to enjoy royal opulence in the future. Arjuna is thinking like this. Now Krishna is going to speak in the second chapter onwards. Krishna is going to enlighten Arjuna. Krishna is going to answer all Arjuna's questions from different angle of vision. When you look at one object from one side, it has one meaning. If you look at another same object from other side, it has another meaning. Arjuna is looking at his problems, his situation, one angle. Now Krishna is going to give 360-degree view for Arjuna's problems with a spiritual answer. Material problems, we generally go for material solution. But Krishna is going to give spiritual solution for Arjuna's material problems. Because material solution for the material problems are temporary. If you are unhappy, I can come and hear all your problem, say that don't worry, you will be doing it all right and everything will be fine. You feel relieved. You may feel good. How long? Again problem will come. But Krishna is going to give a different angle. Krishna is going to solve the problem at its root level. Just like we say allopathic medicine and Ayurvedic medicine. If you have some problem in the medicine of allopathy, they will give medicines for the symptomatic level treatment. Stomach pain, the painkiller you take. Headache, painkiller you take. Every week you get headache. Then doctor says, I'll give this tablet and I'll get headache, you take. So headache goes. Is the headache going off? No. The medicine is killing the pain. That's all. But if you go to Ayurveda, they will say this is because of Vata, this is because of this is because of that. For this you should do pranayama like this, do that, but so that deck does not come out. It solves the disease at the root level. We all know that, isn't it? Now, our lives also like that. In our life, so many problems will come. But problems, I address the problem materially, again another problem will come. But if you solve our problems in the way which Krishna has taught us in Bhagavad Gita, problems will never come. Though problem comes, it becomes insignificant for us. We'll be able to face those problems with a spiritual angle of vision. That is why you see in the Bhagavad Gita, now Sanjaya is saying that Arjuna is under lamentation, Arjuna is worrying, Arjuna is fully overwhelmed the grief. At the end, in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you see Sanjaya is saying this in last verse of Bhagavad Gita. If you have a book, you can see the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. The Sanjaya is saying, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partha Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Whenever there is Krishna, wherever there is Krishna, the master of mystic, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, morality. That is my opinion. Now, what is the opinion of what Sanjay is seeing in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna is grief-stricken, overwhelmed, not able to stand up. What is the end of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna is ready to fight. Arjuna, wherever Arjuna is there, where is Krishna is there will be victory. There will be all opulence, morality. That means in the pages of Bhagavad Gita, from the first chapter to 18th chapter, there is one transformation going to happen in Arjuna by hearing these words of Krishna. So these pages of Bhagavad Gita, from the chapter 1 to 18, if we implement in our life, we can see the same transformation of what Arjuna has seen. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna did not give up the battlefield and become sannyasi. Sometimes people say Bhagavad Gita should be read in the old age because there is nothing else to do after that. You should sit and read in your old age. Young people should not read Bhagavad Gita. Not required. It's a completely wrong understanding. Why? When you are young, you should know what is right and wrong. After doing all the wrongs, when you are retired, what will you do for that? How will you change the life which you already led? And it is also a wrong understanding to think if anybody reads Bhagavad Gita, he will give up his activities. Or he may give up the family. He may give up the life, any attachment. He may go away. She may go away. This is also a wrong understanding. Because Bhagavad Gita itself says, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did Arjuna do? He went to Himalayas and sat for tapasya, is it? What did he do? He came back with the more power, more ability, more confidence, with the meaning of life. He understood what is the purpose of life. With that rigor, he got up and got ready to fight. And he fought the war. Nothing could stop him, including his son was killed. Nobody could stop him. He became unstoppable. By that transformation, Bhagavad Gita can bring in our life. It's a wonderful teaching of Krishna. And Bhagavad Gita is not spoken just 5,000 years back. Krishna himself says, we'll study that. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I have spoken this knowledge millions of years ago to the sun god. But over a period of time, the knowledge is lost, Arjuna. I have come here to establish again. So this knowledge is not limited to Mahabharata or Arjuna. This knowledge is the permanent Shashwata Jnana, eternal knowledge given by God, is a manual for our life. Because we want to see that change. Suppose you buy a washing machine to your home and you want to know what are those switches. What do? You go through the manual given by the manufacturer of the washing machine. Then you can smoothly, successfully use the washing machine. Otherwise, if you keep on experimenting either your clothes will get spoiled or washing machine will get spoiled. Is it not? Same way in life. Entire world is created by God. That creator has given a user manual for all of us in our life. That is Bhagavad Gita. If I say I don't read Bhagavad Gita, in retired life I will read Bhagavad Gita, that means I will open the user manual of washing machine after 5 years. When the washing machine is barely working, then you will come to know I should have not used this switch. I should not have done like this. I should have put the filter here. It all got spoiled. But what will you do after that? Hence, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Prahlada, you would have heard Bhakta Prahlada. Prahlada says, Kaumaram acharate prajnam. One has to practice spiritual life from the age of Kaumara. Kaumara means 5 years. So, nevertheless, whatever age we are now, so now it has come in our life. Now nothing to lament. We don't have control over our age. In this age, this opportunity we all have got to study Bhagavad Gita. So we should take this opportunity fully to understand the Bhagavad Gita, implement those things. And to understand Bhagavad Gita and implement those things, there is no age limit. Anybody can understand. Anybody can implement. And you can become successful in your life. Okay. So with this, we are completing the first chapter discussion and we are setting our mood to hear Krishna's message. Now we understood what is Arjuna's situation. That is the same as our situation. Now we are going to hear from Krishna from the second chapter, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. With this, I will stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balarama ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.